What is going on, everybody? It is episode 750 of Pop Culture Crisis. That is right, 750 episodes. My name is Brett, and I am here once again with my co-host. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. I guess it didn't occur to me that it's sort of a milestone episode, a half milestone.
3/4 of the way to 1,000.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
It is.
Yeah, and Phil is joining us.
750 is a lot.
There's a lot of them,
It's a
guys.
lot.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Phil Labonte. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and counter-revolutionary.
Yes, he is.
It's also a momentous day because Taco Bell chicken nuggets are out, and I'm just...
Oh, that's
yes.
what it is.
Yes.
All right.
I am unreasonably excited for these, and I'm going to be preoccupied with that.
Have you discussed your favorite thing at
For
Taco
hours.
Bell?
What my favorite thing at Taco
Yeah.
Bell is? I guess like a Crunch Wrap. It would have to be. Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Guys, we got a bunch of stuff to get
Steak
into
and
today,
or
but
steak.
before we get started, hit the
Quesadilla.
like button on this video. Good? He's good. Did you say steak what?
The quesarito?
Quesadilla?
Oh, no.
Okay. No.
Okay.
Hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed here yet already, everybody. Please share the video out with your friends, your family, your loved ones, people you like, people you don't like at all, and mortal enemies if you have them. The more people you share these episodes with, the faster this show can grow. So thank you guys so much for that. So what are we getting into today? Well, we are going to talk about the big topic that's going on in all of the pop culture channels right now, which is the release of the brand new Superman trailer from James Gunn. We're going to watch the trailer, we're going to react to it, and then we are also going to talk about James Gunn's comments about Superman, what he means for America, and what he represents. So we'll get into it. Society. We as a society. We're going to talk about that. There's also this story about LGBTQ Hollywood elites just fleeing because they're terrified of Donald Trump getting elected. Never mind the fact that he nominated the first openly gay cabinet member. That would just be too easy to think about. They're writing these nonsense articles. We're going to talk about it. Also, there's a brand new raw Milkmaid dress, and everybody's losing their minds.
Yeah, it's not just a Milkmaid dress. It's a raw Milkmaid dress.
That matters. So, guys, we got a bunch of stuff to get into. It's going to be great. But before we get started, I do want to ask you guys again if you guys know about the man Chuck Norris, which I brought about, the other day?
Yes.
I asked everybody, I said, Walker, Texas Rangers, like the greatest show ever. But I wanted to ask you guys this because we talked about the video that we watched. He is absolutely shocking. He is in his 80s. He is still kicking butt. He is working out. He is in fantastic shape. Better shape than me, I would actually go and say. What's even crazier is that he's stronger, can work out longer, and has plenty of time to spend with his grandkids and energy. That is important. I hope to have grandkids one day, and maybe perhaps then I will be able to understand this all. But it says he just had to make one change in his life to say that he still feels like he is in his 50s. His wife has even begun doing this, and she said that she feels like she is 10 years younger. She has never felt better. She is leaner. She's in better shape. She feels great, and she has energy all day. And the reason we're talking about this is because Chuck Norris himself, that's right, Chuck Norris is the sponsor of this episode, has made a special video, as I explained, where he explains everything. Make sure that you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/pop or by clicking the link below in this video. It is both in the description box, and if you are watching live, it is in the clickable link in the live chat. And click the link in the description below. You will not believe how simple it is. And just as a reminder, Chuck Norris he's 84 years old.
It's been 84
He's 84 years old, and he has more energy. He has discovered this dramatic change to his health by simply focusing on 3 things that sabotage our body as we age. Watch his method by click the link in the description, chuckdefense.com/pop. And I do, again, get to thank them because not many channels can be cool enough to be sponsored by Chuck Norris.
An absolute icon. Continue with the Chuck Norris memes in the super chats, by the way. Those
I do want
fun.
to know, yes, what is your favorite Chuck Norris fact?
It was a throwback.
It was.
Actually.
Early days of the internet.
People don't make jokes about Chuck Norris anymore.
No. It's
People
not
don't
true.
know who Chuck Norris is.
That is not true at all.
Well, okay, they know who he is, but
the average Gen Zer probably
know the
does
meme.
not know who Chuck Norris
Exactly.
is.
As I said before, my first impression of Chuck Norris's entire existence was memes about how much of a Chad he is. Like, I didn't know about his movies or anything. That's how I was introduced to Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about.
I mean, it just proves that meme culture has changed everything. Like now, people have longevity through something other than just their work. They become a meme and then can become more than that.
like drunk street interviews. Let's get into Hawk Tuah girl, Haley Welch. She has avoided jail time, but she is getting sued because of the launch of her meme coin. Tuah coin is what it was called. The Tuah token had a controversial crash in its value. All of these people invested their life savings into a meme coin, and now they're blaming Haley Welch and her business associates for their bad decision making.
Tuah coin is not the most catchy of names.
No, but she's gonna have to talk to a judge.
Yes, I like that.
After lying about the whole controversy. So it shot up to like $490 million in value in the first hours of its launch.
Yep.
And then allegedly, all of these people in her team sold off their coins.
Yeah.
Immediately, it dropped by 95% in value. And all of these people who stupidly invested their life savings into her meme coin are feeling very victimized by this situation and feel they have reason to sue, not only for fraud, but for negligence in regard to securities regulations. I just don't feel bad for them. You shouldn't have
I mean, that seems to be the resounding
bet money that
here.
you weren't willing to lose. That's like rule number one, right?
She probably broke securities laws because of her ignorance of securities laws, but that does not mean that
Criminal negligence?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure because criminal negligence is a specific crime. I don't know. I imagine that she broke securities laws because she doesn't know how to, know the proper way to actually sell securities and stuff like that. And I wouldn't even be surprised if she didn't know what a security is.
She didn't even know what Solana was.
But that being said, everyone that bought that coin and spent all of their money on that coin, you deserve to lose your money, and it's good that you lost your money because the market filters out morons like you. This is how the market works. You're too dumb to have money, and the market said you're too dumb to have money.
Look, my Mudeng coin is losing, but I only bought $1 of it, so
there you go.
You just bought Brett coin.
No, I couldn't. They wouldn't. There's a coin called Brett (based), and it's not available on Coinbase. Unfortunately, I couldn't buy it there, guys. Don't take financial advice from like anyone here. Actually, talk to a financial advisor, and definitely don't take financial advice.
Take this
from
financial
Hawk Tuah.
advice. Don't buy Hawk Tuah coin.
Yes.
It was always a bad idea. Yeah. Well, TMZ was the first to report in new court documents obtained by TMZ. Investors in Welch's meme coin have accused the Tuah the Moon Foundation of unlawfully promoting and selling cryptocurrency that was allegedly never properly registered. And they have named defendants in the lawsuit, including the creator of Over Here, executive Clinton So, and promoter Alex Larson Schultz. But I was just joking when I said that Haley Welch was in trouble. She wasn't even named as a defendant in this lawsuit.
No.
She's completely avoiding accountability for this.
These are worth more than one Hawk Tuah coin. And these specifically say not real money on them. These specifically say copy money.
Yes.
Plaintiffs accuse those behind the crypto sale of capitalizing on Haley Welch's celebrity status to create a frenzy, taking advantage of first-time cryptocurrency participants who faced substantial losses after the token's value plummeted by more than 90% after a rapid rise.
Got a 20 here from Pop Culture Junkie. Says, this is a crypto version of a common Wall Street scam, a pump and dump. And I will not make that joke again. Don't worry. If you're looking for a good, as a complete aside, I know everybody loves Gordon Gekko. Everybody loves Wolf of Wall Street. Everybody loves all the various movies about Wall Street and stuff like that. One you may not have seen was called Boiler Room with Giovanni Ribisi, and a very, very early role from Vin Diesel. And if you want to watch a great movie about the craziness of the financial sector back then, I do recommend it.
If you don't know what the term pump and dump means, you should not be buying any cryptocurrency. Absolutely not.
I know that
buy
about
Bitcoin
myself.
and leave it alone. If you have to buy some cryptocurrency, buy Bitcoin and leave it alone.
Yeah.
The plaintiffs make a point to clarify they are not accusing the crypto creators of fraud or reckless conduct, Instead, they're simply suing over the defendant's alleged negligence in relation to the Securities Act. They are seeking damages of more than $150,000 on top of whatever else the court may deem appropriate.
Yeah.
Now, since this whole scandal arose, Haley Welch has been asleep.
Yes.
She
went to bed one night after an X space and hasn't been heard or seen from since because she's still asleep.
She got on a space to explain her side of the story and then went to sleep, and she has not been online ever since. Some people are saying that she has fled the country.
I don't think that's what it is.
She's hiding in Argentina or something.
Is that what it is?
So she's gone. She's gone completely silent. It's crickets from Haley Welch. And her fans are mad at her. They're jumping ship from the Tuah bandwagon.
The first thing I thought was like, look, Logan, she's part of the Paul, it's like Jake Paul's podcast network, right? Or Logan Paul's podcast network. Maybe it's both of them. But, they've got their own, financial problems when it comes to like fraud and stuff like that with the NFTs,
CryptoZoo,
and CryptoZoo and all of that stuff. So they're no stranger to any of this.
They're like laughing at her over this whole situation as if they have a clean slate.
Yeah, but the difference is they're for the most part embedded and industrious, and she kind of fell into this. And I imagine that they're just smarter at getting out of trouble, perhaps, than she is.
Technically, she was taken advantage of, right? If someone went to her and said, hey, we want to do this for you. Because I don't imagine Tuah girl knows how to go ahead and make her own cryptocurrency. I don't imagine her programming anything.
Even the language of, like, taken advantage of, I don't like, because that seems to say to me that, like, she got duped, sure, but if you're going to put your name and attach your name to something like this that could lose people money, you better do your due diligence.
Well, if anything, maybe she would have more reason to sue the crypto creators than the people who invested in the meme coin. But it doesn't look like she's doing that. Maybe that's where she's been the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, if they were the ones that were actually doing the pump and dump, right? So they use her to promote the coin. She looks at this and says, okay, this is all they're going to be, and she probably naively trusted them, but trusts them to do the right thing. They're going to make a cryptocurrency. They said, okay, we'll do this, we'll do all this, we'll write the code, we'll create the token, you'll get a portion, we'll all get X amount of crypto of this token, blah, blah, blah. You promote it. That's where the value is going to come from. But they're dumping it as soon as they get an exchange to accept it. She may have been a victim as well. Not saying that she should, not saying that she wasn't naive and it was a bad idea, not saying it was a good idea, not saying that you should feel bad for her, but it is completely plausible that they used her and she got just as screwed as all the people that lost their money.
Well, yeah, she was on a very, very upward trajectory. She was on a huge trajectory, rise to fame. I don't
know about that.
And then, well, I mean, what do you mean? Like, if we're talking comparatively from what she was before she was there,
I mean,
she's
fair enough, but I mean, fame you're using a huge rise to fame is a very broad and loose term.
Well, I mean, upward trajectory is a broad term, but that's
she got the podcasting deal from Jake Paul's betting platform Better. So yeah, she was on an upward trajectory. This was not good for her brand image at the very least. Her latest tweet from December 4th claimed that her team had not sold one token, calling this Hawkonomics.
Even that, just there's something sinister feeling. Like there was some dude had to sit there and create that graphic knowing that it was going to screw a bunch of people.
Yeah. But then a lot of people are claiming that Haley Welch was knowingly lying about this and that she knew the team was planning to, run this scheme and pull the rug out from the investors.
Based solely on vibes, I lean the other way and say that she just didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, I heard that she was actually a super senior in high school, and she graduated at the age of 20. So she's not that bright.
Wow.
She's not that bright. And she got in over her head, most likely. Didn't know the ramifications. She should have just had like a makeup line or something, like do something simple. Sell t-shirts.
Barrett is right. I believe that she was getting like 300,000 views on her podcast, which when you've come from relative obscurity and now you're getting views like that, that's wild.
And she brought her friend along for the ride.
Yep.
Who's
And now,
also in over her
you know
head.
who the biggest loser in all of this is? It's Pookie.
Yeah, where's Pookie in all of this?
Pookie?
Why didn't Pookie tell her this was a bad idea? This is really Pookie's fault. He should have advised her this was a bad idea.
She could have gotten a Twisted Tea sponsorship. That would have been great.
Just
White Claw. I see somebody in the chat
promote
mention
an alcoholic seltzer. Promote a makeup line. Have merch. You don't need to be getting into all of this dicey territory.
Maybe it's in the contract to work for like the Paul brothers.
Your podcast is funded by a betting platform. Like that's, I don't know. That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. It's it'll be very interesting to see where she goes, like when she finally kind of reemerges and makes her first post.
If she does at all, maybe she's just deciding that this is not for her,
And she's just
and
done.
she doesn't want to be a public figure anymore.
I can kind of like I get it.
Maybe she won't come back.
We'll have to wait and see.
Has she made enough money to retire yet?
I doubt it.
No.
I doubt it. So we'll have to wait and see, but just thought everybody should know that was the closest we have to an update because she just hasn't been anywhere. She hasn't. She's literally still asleep.
Yep.
All right.
Every year, UCLA publishes their diversity report on Hollywood. And the next one is about to come out later today. But Variety got an inside peek at the findings. They found that there is, shocker, not enough diversity in Hollywood yet. They found that there is still a massive overrepresentation of white men, not only in leading roles on screen on the most popular streaming shows, but also as series creators. They are involved in some of the most popular projects that are on streaming services, and yet we're being told that people want more diversity in what they watch.
I am doubtful that people want more diversity, considering the ones that have the white men writing and stuff are the most popular.
Yeah.
Maybe they like the popular shows.
The biggest
maybe the fact that they're popular indicates that they like them.
The cope that was listed in this article, the major cope, is they listed shows like Suits being the #1 show of 2023, but then their excuse for that is because a show like that has 9 seasons, it inflates your ability to watch more of it because it's got 9 seasons, therefore there could be more watch time. Not really taking into account the fact that if Suits was only 3 seasons and some other show was 3 seasons that nobody watched, it wouldn't matter because maybe you started both of them, but only one of them is good enough to have you continuously watching.
The latest Hollywood diversity report from UCLA's Entertainment and Media Research Initiative found that, quote, streaming audiences want new offerings, diverse stories, as most watch metrics fall short of capturing the market.
I don't believe I would love to see their methodology as to how they got to this, because I don't believe that if you went and asked average everyday people what matters to them on television, that diverse stories they would say, we want good stories. It depends on whether they understand that the word diverse is a loaded buzzword that has a specific connotation, as opposed to just saying, oh, I want a variety of different stories. When we understand that places like this that do yearly diversity reports, and we just talked about another one of these that came out like 2 weeks ago. I believe it was on a day, it was like one of the days that you were gone, like on a Friday. We talked about another one of these that another industry label put through. And it's whether they understand the difference between a variety of stories and diversity, trademark, copyright, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. What people say on a survey doesn't always reflect what they think, and certainly not reflecting their decisions as customers.
Yeah.
Streaming audiences supposedly have a desire for diverse stories, and female viewers are a significant force in regard to total viewership. But this study indicates women over-indexed in regard to 9 of the top 10 shows ranked by both total household minutes viewed and total household ratings. So these female viewers are watching shows about white men created by white men. Basically.
Also, their assumption here, I feel like their underlying assumption is that women being overrepresented in viewership means that inherently means that women want to watch women make the shows or women star in the shows, when that's not even necessarily the truth. It shouldn't really matter what gender you are. You should want to watch a story because it's good, not because the person that's leading the show is like you. For instance, again, they mentioned the show Suits here. Guess what? I am not a lawyer, nor am I a genius with an eidetic memory who can fake being a lawyer and taking the LSATs for people, yet I loved that show. It's got nothing to do with the color of their skin or anything else. I just like the story.
Key findings indicate that showrunners, creators, and lead actors across television tend to be predominantly white and male. However, data shows that top streaming shows with BIPOC leads consistently outperform others in regard to median ratings, and series following, quote, underrepresented stories also rank higher in ratings.
They don't explain what. So when they say BIPOC groups, first of all, they use Latinx, which is a problem as it is anyways, because nobody actually likes the use of that term. But what do they even mean, tend to be underrepresented in 2024? I guess in relation to the total population, that actually probably makes sense. I would probably guess that Asian men are probably underrepresented as well.
I know for a fact that there is an underrepresentation in terms of U.S. demographics for Latino leads.
Yeah.
Like, that is true.
That was something they talked about a lot when Black Panther Wakanda Forever was coming out because of Namor. Not Namor, Namor.
God.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, because they changed the character, and so now Namor is Hispanic, and they were talking about it became a storyline.
So they changed the character just to add more diversity to the cast.
It was very diverse.
Basically. Focusing on total minutes watched gives an advantage to older shows that have more episodes and seasons.
Again, that is
Suits.
cope.
But they say current shows, which our research has shown to be more diverse, face a disadvantage in some ways from the onset for that reason.
Because there aren't as many seasons of it.
And then inevitably, that just feeds into the legacy of inequity that was built into the industry. Overall, BIPOC groups, particularly Latinx creatives, tend to be underrepresented in 2024 when it comes to TV deals. The report looked at the top 250 TV series available on major streaming services in 2023. The report criticized streamers for touting minutes viewed as a key metric.
It is a key metric.
That's insane.
It matters to the look. When you go to Netflix, you're going, like, one of the things that I love about streaming right now is, like, for as much garbage, as much money as they spend on creating new stuff that nobody cares about, what a lot of these services have started doing again is licensing stuff out.
Thank you.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs.
Thank you.
Eating the cats. Eat the cat.
So they're licensing stuff out again because they get more mileage. Like, if you go on Amazon Prime right now, it's absolutely stacked. It's jam-packed with shows that have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons. You're going to get more watch time out of that. Therefore, Amazon's return on investment for spending the money to do that is better. It makes more sense.
They also show the pie graphs here showing the predominance of white males. The show creators by race and ethnicity finds that 92.3% of show creators are white. And then the television leads are 77.5% white. But those are the most popular shows.
Yes.
So I've been saying this. I kind of get pushback every time I say this. But I really think that people just like watching movies that have white male leads. I really just think that.
My logic is more this. It's that when you make a story, and we'll get to the 20
movies and TV shows.
So when you make a story starring an underrepresented group, look at what Cynthia Erivo is doing now, talking about how they put micro braids on Elphaba so that it could represent black people. when you tell stories for underrepresented groups, that becomes part of the focus of the actual storytelling, and the ability for the story to connect and be good is bogged down in all of this extraneous nonsense that has nothing to do with telling a good story. When you tell stories about characters that are straight and white, or even just white, you don't get into the identity politics because it's not material to what to the story you're telling. So you have a stronger possibility that the story that you're actually sharing with the audience is good and will just focus on what it's supposed to be, not all of this other stuff that has nothing to do with it. It's just they have a default setting that pushes them towards better storytelling.
We have a 20 from Rico Cantrell. Crisis team, thanks for being you. I liked the trailer. Am I being silly for pointing out the cop, Lex, rock thrower were all one persuasion and the beau and many in the crowd were another? I have PTSD from the message.
Yeah, you'll go nuts focusing on all that, and trust me, I do. At least I'd be noticing how they, who gets cast as who, but we'll get into the trailer here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Phil, looked like you wanted to say something.
No, I want to.
Okay.
I want to and hero because of these same stories constantly.
Yeah, what you mentioned about the micro braids
just
made me laugh because they did the same thing with Halle Bailey when she played Ariel in the Little Mermaid remake. They made sure not to just give her a normal red wig.
Yeah,
they gave her micro braids as well. And it's to represent the black girl magic of the story.
It's so tiresome and exhausting. It's just narcissism and people demanding that everything be about them, and it's just exhausting. Like, a good reason to have white characters is because that's the majority of the United States still. Like, the plurality of the United States is white, and then the identity doesn't have to be part of the story.
That's
like just
what
like
I
you
was
said.
saying, yeah.
It's like if you put people of color or LGBT people, then that has to be a dimension of the story.
They're not allowed to just tell the story with those characters.
Exactly,
without
and it's exhausting because then every story is the same. It's all the same garbage told over and over and over and over. I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, and it's exhausting. It's so stupid.
I'll give you
so tiresome.
an example of of one that works that I might have mentioned on here before is the show Power. The show Power, starring Omari Hardwick, Joseph Sikora. It's about a drug kingpin played by Omari Hardwick.
Did you get the one from Rico Cantrell?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
So it's about a drug kingpin who the character's name is Ghost, and his whole ambition is he lives a double life. He runs a nightclub at night. He's got a family. He's got kids in private school. And by day, he has laundromats and is a drug kingpin. And he aspires to getting out of that life and going legit and becoming just a regular mainstream business person. And that's a great hook for a show. His skin color has nothing to do with it. And then his partner, played by Joseph Sikora, doesn't want any of that. All he wants is the life. All he wants is to live the life selling drugs and being a kingpin. He loves it. He embraces it. It's all he cares about early on. And there's actually these great scenes where he's talking about how dejected he feels that he can't get out of it. And this character, who's been his friend and business partner for years, he starts laughing at him. He's like, why would you want to live any other life? It's got nothing to do. And in this, the main character, Omari Hardwick, is black and Joseph Sikora is white. Doesn't have anything to do with it. Doesn't matter. I don't think anybody really said. Maybe it did in the later seasons, but it was a great hook for a show. And the race of the characters doesn't help or hurt it. It just makes it. It's just awesome. And you can do that, but you can't focus on all of this extraneous bullshit that ruins it for people in the outset.
Doesn't need to factor into the story.
Yes, and you're right, Pat the Plumber. The ending was bad, but that's not the point. The hook of the show is great. And I haven't watched the spin-offs. I know that there's been multiple spin-offs. It's one of those shows that 50 Cent is a main character in and a producer of.
I still say people do want to watch movies and TV shows led by white men because they're white men and white men are awesome.
And you're right, Johnny. Tommy is crazy as hell in the show. Yeah. And these, look, take this with a grain of salt, too. Every year around this time, we cover these reports. Just like all the NGOs of the world and any nonprofit organization, they would put themselves out of business by saying that things were okay. If you're the Diversity and Inclusion Initiative, it's kind of your job to be like, we need more.
Well, yeah, they need to justify their own existence, and all of these people are angry nerds walking around with clipboards, furiously writing notes on everyone, trying to punish people for just creating shows that people want to watch.
It's just
That's what they're doing. That's their job.
All right.
It's the same stuff over and over and over. It's tiresome.
Several huge musicians just got exposed for a massive COVID fund fraud scheme, basically. They misused COVID funds from the federal government, your money, meaning your money, in order to pay for luxury items, for mystery women, and just throw parties during the lockdown.
By mystery women, do we mean hookers?
Phil's face.
We don't know yet.
Phil's face when Mary started announcing this topic was amazing. He's just like, it was literally the Ben Affleck meme outside the cigarette. He's like,
yeah.
It's just so exhausting. It's so predictable.
Business Insider released this report on the whole fraud scheme, naming Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, Marshmello, and others, including Alice in Chains, Shinedown, Ray Sremmurd, and Steve Aoki.
So they're not down in a hole, is what you're saying.
These artists allegedly misused millions of dollars in pandemic grants meant for struggling businesses. The money was allegedly used to instead pay themselves, fund private jets, buy designer clothes, throw parties, all at the cost of taxpayers, meaning us. They received these grants and basically put it right back into their own pockets.
Shocking.
This says that very cut and dry happened with Marshmello, who received $9.9 million in pandemic relief funds. And because he had made exactly that amount on tour in 2019, prior to the pandemic, he justified basically paying himself all of the grant money. that was just exactly what happened. And then Lil Wayne and Chris Brown spent nearly $14 million of these pandemic relief funds on their own private jets, parties, and more. The grant was given out as, quote, a lifeline for struggling independent venues and arts groups during the pandemic. Many musicians struggled during the pandemic. Lil Wayne wasn't one of them. He sold master recordings from his record label's artists for more than $100 million. He was pardoned for felony gun possession by then-President Donald Trump. And as this investigation found, he received $8.9 million from this grant. And he used it to cover more than 2 years' worth of spending on luxury hotel stays and travel to and from nightclub appearances around the country.
To and from nightclub appearances that he got paid for, probably.
Yes.
I'd be willing to bet anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mystery woman went to flights and luxury hotels. I wonder who the mystery woman was.
Yeah, this is talking about some of the money that Lil Wayne spent.
Her name was $10,000 a day.
Yes, it was.
So 14,000 of all those millions of dollars allegedly went to mystery women, according to the investigation.
$14,000?
Yes.
Well, that could be. I don't know if
It says it went toward their flights and luxury hotel rooms for women who don't appear directly involved with Lil Wayne's tours, including a porn star and a waitress at a Hooters-type restaurant.
Well, you know, Trump's just going to have to pardon him again. 4 years.
Business Insider did reach out to Lil Wayne directly for comment, and instead he offered a sexually explicit overture to the reporter.
Yeah, I mean, they're reporters, so that's what they deserve. So, fair enough. I don't know if I have, many additional thoughts. If it's 14 grand on, women that he doesn't know, they probably actually they were just his girlfriends. They were just groupies. It's probably just like he's buying them like first class flights. And honestly, if you're buying first class flights, $14,000 in a year isn't that much.
Well, at least when you steal your money, everyone's money, you're doing it so responsibly.
But you need to know that your tax money in 2019 went to Lil Wayne's groupies.
Yep.
Like, you should know that. Yep. You should feel uncomfortable with that. Chris Brown reportedly spent $80,000 from the grant on a birthday party and $179,000 of it on a celebrity basketball tournament.
Of course.
Steve Aoki paid himself $1.9 million of his company's payroll costs, and Shinedown, 3 members of which split their $2.5 million among themselves from their $8.3 million grant. And their 15 touring production workers split $650,000.
What is the point of giving these types of COVID relief grants to musicians?
I have no idea.
It sounds like a program that should have never existed.
Like I remember, like,
if I'd have known, I'd have been signing up for it myself.
Yeah.
This is it just reminds me, because like I was watching a lot of YouTube, when COVID was going on, because everything was shut down. I was skating every day. Walking to and from to get anywhere. And I remember a lot of the channels in this space were covering all of the ways in which companies like Disney were going to benefit from the shutdowns and use it as a way to start cutting theaters out so that they could start building up their streaming infrastructure. And that's what happened. And so since then, we've seen the collapse, as none of them have really been able to break out their subscriber growth beyond a certain level. And now they're kind of, in a way, they have to go back to the theater model as a way to run their business still for the big budget films and stuff. And I bet that an audit of the film companies would show levels of corruption far beyond any of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I want to know what Bob Iger was using COVID, I guess Bob Chapek was using COVID relief funds for. The people over at Paramount, I'm sure that the money that they were using for, probably less funny, but just as corrupt.
Yeah.
Like, they're not, I'm guessing Bob Iger and the people at Disney wouldn't be spending it on strippers. But maybe I'm wrong.
You could be.
I could
be
wrong.
Very wrong.
Maybe he's into that shit. I don't know.
You don't know if Bob Iger has groupies. Yep. But yeah, the program was called the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant. And I guess instead of going to venues, it went to the artists. That's insane. So you didn't hear about this?
No.
You didn't hear about this free money hack?
All the remains didn't get any free money from the government.
You didn't get the evil Hollywood Illuminati cabal email
no,
that told you about this with the clickable link.
I wish we did. No, we did not get any kind of COVID money at all. All the loans that I've ever taken, I have to pay back.
Maybe you should have.
Well, I mean, of course I should have. and the justification is, well, they did. That's the only justification
what these
I
people
have.
got away with. Yeah.
So.
$2.14 million of Lil Wayne's grant went to setting a debt owed to his ex-manager, Cortez Bryant. That sounds like a payoff.
Yep.
Or some kind of hush money. Then to another manager, $1.38 million on private jets. That's insane. Then his lawyers, accountants, $528,000 on just clothes.
I think
just clothes.
Yep.
We've talked about at least a couple of celebrities who got in trouble for COVID grants, and it was a long time ago, but I don't remember who it was. But we did cover this at some point. Some celebrity that got caught up in all of this.
This is like shadier than the amount of money the Kamala campaign spent on the Call Her Daddy set.
Yeah,
like
off-center.
That cardboard shit did not cost $100,000, but who knows where the rest of the money went. And they don't even know where this mystery money left over went. They just said everything else was $1.3 million.
John Durham says it was supposed to go to session musicians, so like musicians that play the live events and stuff like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, because they're not actually in the band. They don't write with them. They just pay for going on tour.
Yep.
Unbelievable. And the thing is these stories, as egregious as they are, people tend to have short memories, and a lot of people have kind of already moved on from all of the ways in which this country got screwed during COVID. So a lot of people have already forgiven and forgot all of the things that were done to the average everyday person while they jet set and spend your money because the corrupt U.S. government gave them a grant that they did not need.
Meanwhile, Taylor Swift is over here giving her crew
$200 million
$200 million in bonuses. So, you know, props.
We're gonna find out 5
her.
years later that she got that $200 million from the COVID grant, and
I
that's why
really
she's...
hope not. But credit where credit is due if that really is money that she could have pocketed herself.
Correct. All right. What do you like to see? Cringe or cute of the day?
Phil, what do you say?
I would like to see that Stanza-tastic got a $20.
Okay, we'll see that first. And this is why we can't have nice things. All those people driving in the left lane. Also, hey, where did the Amish lumberjack go? Ready for the sequel, Pandemic 2, We Are at War with Eurasia. Liv Moss, PCC, Liv Moss. Oh, hi, Phil.
Hi, how you doing? I assume he's talking about the flannel that I
lumberjack.
had. Well, yeah, I had a flannel on the other day. There's another one from
That was your look after you took the mustache off?
Well, I took the mustache off and I wore the flannel on the same day. So
I
it
actually
was a big
curious
day. You know?
why the Amish are known for having beards without mustaches, and it's actually this whole tradition where they see mustaches as something that the English do, which basically that term refers to anyone outside of the Amish community. It's seen as more of a fashion choice than something that represents becoming a man.
Nice. Okay. Well,
So
One more 20 there.
Jose Quintana said, Mary, Mary to the Overlord, Ghost Empress, and Metal Man. Mary, you are shimmering. Am I hallucinating? Also, we need to expose that one person who has disliked this episode. Ban them for life. Long live Holiday PCC. Someone disliked the episode already?
Why would you do that?
They didn't even give us a chance to prove ourselves.
To be fair, I often ask people to hit the like button before we've proved ourselves too. So,
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So-
it's funny that there's one dislike.
Whoever that is.
that's okay.
No one else can dislike it though. Just it's funny if there's only one. If there's multiple, then it's just
Thanks for watching, even if you're hate watching.
There you go.
We appreciate.
We appreciate it.
So let's do cute of the day first, or no,
All right.
no, let's do cringe of the day.
Yeah, let's do
first.
cringe of the day so that way
first.
Cute can watch.
I thought
it
Phil
away.
would love this cringe.
This cringe specifically.
Yeah, this specifically.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
You fucking homophobic, racist, or sexist. And I'm an easy fucking target. But I don't make my music for the cool kids. I make my music for the outcast, the queer, and the small! You want to be part of the alternative community, you cannot be fucking homophobic, racist, or sexist. And I'm an easy fucking target.
Bro, you're literally a straight white male.
I make my music for the outcast, the queer, and the small!
I think we actually had him as cringe of the day one other time. He made this song about how he's
yeah, and
like
I think we got
queer and
and
punk.
We got copyrighted for that too.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, dude.
And being queer is really the true meaning of being punk.
Yeah, whatever.
The
That's cringe, definitely. Like,
top comment says right out of a South Park episode. So okay,
Yeah.
we did have this before, not this specific one, but we
Same
did have
guy.
it before.
Yeah, he's a repeat offender.
Okay, all right. Let's cleanse the palate. Ali Million says, share this this sometime back. Donnie watching the Benny show. Shocked to hear 3-letter agencies are coming for squirrels and raccoons.
Aw,
Poor guy's a little nervous.
A little bit.
I can tell.
That's okay though. That's a cute dog. All right, let's do one more. And remember, guys, you can submit hashtag PCC Pets on Twitter. Tag me in there. Let's get more of them in there. And I like this one.
Aw.
Yeah, there we
Josh
go. Turtles.
says, this is Mr. Turt
I like turtles.
walking
too.
through the house.
Mr. Turt is a great name.
I like turtles.
It's very,
I like
there's a lot of gravitas.
You
in
just
that
let him
photo.
walk around the house like that?
Why would you stop him?
Okay. I mean, go off.
The other day, so most of the cats, meaning by most, I mean Toast and Chloe. Chloe doesn't get in anyone's way because Chloe sits high on the dryer every day, hangs out there, looking down on you, judging you. And Toast is in the other room. Toast sits in the office and doesn't really
That's such
get
a
in your
good
way.
name for a cat.
Yeah. Doesn't get in your way, and like though egregiously, anytime you walk into that hallway, she looks up at you and then starts running towards the hall as if I'm going to give her food every time I walk through there. But Mocha's just really dumb, and love Mocha as I may or may not.
You do.
I'm not admitting
Probably
it.
don't.
will like walk under you, like about to get stepped on all the time. And the other day I'm like walking to bring something back to the fridge, and I can like hear Mocha right behind me, and I do like a big step to try to avoid the cat. And somehow, even with the big, egregious, disproportionately long step, she still found her way under there.
She gets
and
ahead of
almost
you.
got almost got stepped on.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, classic. All right, but
Podcasts that do that.
no cats were hurt in the making of, or in the process of returning that
Yeah.
milk to the fridge.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get started.
Well, the trailer for Superman is out, and James Gunn has offered his own thoughts on what Superman represents in our culture today, his ideological stances, what he represents for humanity. But before we get into that, we're going to do a reaction to the trailer. It seems like most people like it so far.
Yeah, so for me, I have put it up on my Twitter, and it was a pretty positive, mixed to positive reaction from everyone. But let's go ahead and watch the trailer. There is also, I did a singular reaction to this trailer earlier today where I focused more on just what my thoughts were on the cinematography and the story and all of that stuff. That's a little bit different. We're going to get into that, but we're also going to get into what James Gunn said, because it is a tad bit ideological. So let's go ahead and listen to this trailer, watch it. If you're on the audio version, you're listening to it. But here we go, guys, and let us know what you think. Perfect timing.
Eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat.
Thank you.
Yes.
Eating the cats, eat the cat.
It ends, ladies and gentlemen, with this shot of them together. Here's the crazy part.
Crypto, huh?
Crypto, that's a real character from the comics.
Yeah.
I'm gonna list you the amount. Like, the first thing I thought was, holy crap, this movie looks crowded for a Superman movie. Superman, Lois Lane, Doomsday, Lex Luthor, Guy Gardner, Kara Zor-El, Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, Jimmy Olsen, Perry White, Rick Flag Sr., Maxwell Lord, The Engineer, Metamorpho, and Kellex, all in one movie. And I did not even list them all. It's a very, very, very crowded film for a movie that's telling a Superman story. Like, look, Superman makes sense, Lois Lane makes sense, Doomsday makes sense, Lex Luthor makes sense. You could even get rid of Doomsday and do something more simple. I wouldn't have done Guy Gardner, I wouldn't have done Mr. Terrific or Hot Girl for this. I would have saved those for later or a post-credit scene. Jimmy Olsen makes sense, Perry White makes sense, Rick Flag, Maxwell Lord, the Engineer. There's just too many characters for a movie that's going to be 2 hours and 15 minutes long.
But James Gunn has his own explanation for that
Yes, he does.
decision, saying the teaser is meant to demonstrate that this Superman lives in a world with superheroes. He said superhero movies have taken these characters and said, it's Batman or it's Superman, but it's not any of the other stuff. We are embracing all of the Superman mythology. He has friends who are other superheroes. He has people he doesn't get along as well with or who are other superheroes. He has a lot of things that we love from the Superman comics that we haven't been able to see as much of in filmed media, and definitely haven't been able to see in a grounded way, which is what I hope we have created. He said it also, in the DC universe, shares many elements with Game of Thrones as it does with the Marvel universe.
I hate that.
The hell does
I
that
hate
mean?
The Game of Thrones reference.
He wants it to feel like it's a fully lived-in world.
I mean, I will definitely watch it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll give it a chance and I'll watch it.
The diabetic Pa Kent. I mean, why is his dad so fat?
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
to make him
Also-
I mean,
everywhere.
he's old. What?
I do like. It's also weird if you look back at some of the scenes. So the one scene of his hair looks insane when he's like walking
When
in the
he's
street.
Clark Kent.
But when he's when he's Clark Kent with his dad, it looks more normal. And
So
then when he's
he
Superman,
hammed it
it
up
looks
for the
even more
disguise,
normal.
though.
Yes,
he hammed up the broccoli hair and the zoomer look for his disguise.
Look, there's a lot of promise to this trailer. There was a lot of back and forth about the color grading here. I'm actually a big fan of the color grading in this trailer, given the fact that everything Hollywood does now is your stereotypical light blue and yellow, light blue and orange color grading pattern. They did light blue with an opaque white color palette that I think works perfectly fine here because it mirrors his suit in a way.
I saw most people actually praising the color grading, and one said I was scared that it would have Guardians of the Galaxy 3 color grading.
People were also
That would be more of a Marvel decision, though.
People were also complaining about the fact that it opens with Superman getting beaten up, but the point of that, at least what I assume artistically, is that the trailer starts with him beaten to the ground and finishes with him rocketing to the sky, which I think is supposed to be indicative of the hopeful tone that the movie is going for. The music, as much as people like it, it didn't work for me.
The electric guitar wasn't it for you?
It's classic. It's classic Superman, but what it is because the trailer felt, again, to me, the trailer felt like a really, 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 really well done screen culture fan edit, where it cobbles together clips from other movies to make like a Franken trailer of something. It didn't feel like it hit the emotional resonance that it was going for. Because what it is like, if you do a very, very muted score, sometimes you can get more emotion out of it. But that score, the music, is swinging for the fences, because in the original Superman, the score and the music is swinging for the fences. The difference is in there it lands. Here it feels like it's shooting for something that it just isn't capable of hitting, at least in the way that this trailer was cut together for me. And some of the action was a little bit, the great scene of him protecting the child from the building was great. It was kind of like Henry Cavill's. Remember in the very first Batman vs Superman trailer, there's the shot right off the bat of Superman catching like a space shuttle or a satellite, and you kind of see his back compress underneath it.
There's a $20 one.
Kenneth Hart said regarding School Shooter and KMFDM, Phil, did you ever check out the industrial scene in PDX and Seattle in the 90s or 2000s? Mudvayne's first show in PDX was wild. Can't believe my dad let me go at 14. LOL.
No, I didn't pay much attention to the industrial scene. I like the industrial bands that I listened to like in the 90s was maybe like Godflesh. Because they were closer to the death metal scene. All of the stuff that I listened to was always death metal, so it was always things that were related to the metal scene more so than more so than the electronic music kind of scene. So I didn't really get into KMFDM or whatever.
So look, I'm more than happy to watch this movie. I was a big fan of James Gunn's Suicide Squad film, which not a lot of people saw because it came out right after COVID and it just didn't get great attention to it. I just think it looks a little crowded. I think some of the action. So like, there's the scene where he's punching through the glass, and it's like a wide angle fisheye shot. It reminded me of some of the James Bamford directed CW shows when he took over the stunt coordination on there. I referenced in the review that I did earlier, there's early on in season 5 when James Bamford takes over stunt coordination, he was doing a lot of like one take action scenes that were supposed to be like their own version of the hallway fight scenes from Marvel, from Daredevil Netflix. And they were great for the budget they had, which was a CW budget. But there's another thing that's going on here is people are comparing this, however fairly, to a CW show on a much smaller scale. I
think that's unfair because it's just the trailer still.
Yeah. No, yeah, it depends on your perspective there. A lot of people are also like making assumptions on what the story's going to be based on that, which it's like there isn't even a story given here.
My gut reaction to Crypto was that's bad.
That's from the comics, and I liked it. I mean, it's going to be
it's
a merch cow for them if they play it right.
Sure.
Like Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Also, the Rachel Brosnahan.
We have another 20 from Mr. Moose Knuckle. I'll watch the new Superman movie when it comes to streaming, but I'm seeing some red flags. Brett said it best. Overcrowded is the best way to describe the trailer. Kind of has a Superman and Friends vibe.
That was Hawk Girl too.
Yes, Hawk Girl.
I didn't notice that it was a woman, so it wasn't clearly girl.
So there's just a lot going on there. And it'll be fine. I'm sure Mr. Terrific is an interesting character to choose from. I do know that Tom King is involved in the production of this, and if you're a comic book fanatic or you follow mainstream modern comics, that's a big red flag for a lot of you. Tom King is a CIA. He used to work for the CIA. He now works in comics, and he's not exactly known for stories that resonate with large groups of people. So make that what you will.
Well, we should get to...
I would like to know your, like, off the... Because I didn't really... I just kind of went off on a tangent. Like, does any of this speak to you, given that this isn't your genre?
No.
No. None of it? None of it?
No. I wouldn't care regardless, because this character is not special to me, and I didn't grow up reading comics or caring about any of these characters.
Lex Luthor is by far and away the best looking character. Like, looks the most like Lex. Lex Luthor was done really, really well. And Rachel Brosnahan, we were kind of questioning that when she was first cast. She looks just like, from that shot where she and Clark walk past each other at the Daily Planet, and she looks back, she looks just like Bitsy Tulloch, who plays Lois Lane in the CW Superman and Lois series. So, very good casting.
I like Nicholas Holt. Dat Pie over there sent us a 20. Raw's going to Netflix on January 6th, and they're having Roman Reigns stage an insurrection on our rightful and legitimate tribal chief, Solo Sikoa. Are you going to give the first episode a peek, Brett? I love you, Solo.
And thank you, but maybe I'll reactivate my Netflix for 1 month just to watch it. Maybe I'll do that. Is it still going to be 3? Are they going back to 3 hours? If they're going back to 3 hours, I don't want to watch it. 2 hours is great for Raw. 3 hours is insane. But we'll see. I did tweet yesterday about how I almost bought that old Big Eagle Championship belt, but held off.
You stopped yourself.
All right, let's talk about James Gunn comments.
Yeah, James Gunn says that this Superman movie will embrace the innate goodness of Man of Steel. Multiple times during his Q&A, he returned to the point that he wants this movie at its core to be about goodness and how much he feels the world could use a story that embraces it. Here's his full comment. We have a battered Superman in the beginning. That is our country. I believe in the goodness of human beings, and I believe that most people in this country, despite their ideological beliefs, their politics, are doing their best to get by and be good people. Despite what it may seem like to the other side, no matter what that other side might be, this movie is about that. It's about the basic kindness of human beings, and that it can be seen as uncool and under siege by some of the darker voices or some of the louder voices.
I back that.
Yep.
I back that totally. And then also one thing that I wanted to mention when you talked about the scene where Superman came and got behind the girl and protected her. Like, anytime Superman's moving that fast and then you know that he's pushing someone's head down, I'm like, oh, he would have broke their neck.
Yeah,
like, you got to be real careful when you're extremely strong and moving extremely fast.
But the beauty of discussing that is exactly the type of conversation you'd be having in a comic book shop in the 80s.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not talking about whether Superman believes in this or that. It's like, this is what people would talk about, power levels. And I saw, to the chat's credit, people were going back and forth about Superman power levels and all sorts of in-depth stuff in the chat before we even got started today, which is awesome.
He elaborated that this is sort of a response to that negative sentiment against Zack Snyder's take in the DC films. He said, we felt really good about it from a moral place from the beginning. We all felt we were doing something good in terms of quality and something that's not a fascistic power fantasy. I'm not saying that about other hero movies in general, but it felt like it felt good to be doing something that was about a person's kindness.
I want to know what he means by fascistic power fantasy, because one of the whole points, say, of Batman versus Superman is that Superman's ability to just snuff out the world in one fell swoop if he wanted to is actually a point of contention amongst the people, meaning that Bruce Wayne believes that it's his job to take out Superman, because if there is even a 1% chance that Superman might go evil someday, then we need to do it for the sake of the human race.
Snyder did Man of Steel, right? He did Man of Steel, and then I personally, and I know this is probably unpopular, I liked Man of Steel, and I liked the Superman versus Batman movie. I wasn't so happy with the JLA stuff and what they did after Superman versus Batman. I still thought those were both very entertaining, and you know, there was some extra stuff in Batman versus Superman that they didn't need. But you know, take that stuff aside,
all of those movies were too crowded. Even
Man of Steel?
No, Batman. I'm saying Batman versus Superman onwards. Just, you know, none. You didn't need to include Barry Allen. You didn't need to have Wonder Woman.
Man of Steel. But I mean, well, I thought they were setting up JLAs, and that was the reason for it. But yeah, I thought Man of Steel was good, and I thought that the Batman versus Superman was good as well.
Why did people not take kindly to James Gunn's statement here? Help me understand.
I don't
because what did he say wrong?
It felt like people were reading into it too much. I don't know what it was that they did not like about it.
They're like, no, we don't believe in innate goodness of humanity. We think
there's a lot of people.
Humanity is evil.
There's a lot of people that are like that.
I mean,
I guess so.
I think it was more about, he says, we have a battered Superman that is our country. I think they were maybe reading that first line and thought he was slighting America.
They're saying James Gunn is doing woke Superman based on that statement.
Like, based
alone.
on what?
I don't think
based on what? Like,
I think that's people that see woke in everything.
Yeah, like there's to a point where it feels like people are and this is, we can criticize that, but this is Hollywood's fault for putting everybody in a position now where they're very, very quick to judge something because you have made so much garbage that people aren't willing to give you the benefit of the doubt or wait.
So they are worried that James Gunn is going to politicize Superman as a character and think more about the cultural impact this movie could have than making it a good movie.
But if he's looking at Superman as inherently good and, pro-America, because that's kind of what Superman always has been, truth, justice, and the American way. Like, if that is something that they're going to have in the movie, I think that's okay. I think that's good. I think that goes to the desire for goodness, the idea of goodness, because truth, justice, and the American way at its heart is intended to be about the inherent goodness in America and in our ideals that what the country was founded on. So hopefully, and I mean maybe I'm being too optimistic, but that's
Do you
that's
think
what
that line is going to get repeated in
truth,
this movie?
justice, and the American way?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
I just don't think they will.
Why not?
I think it's too on the nose to say in a movie nowadays.
Wait, what? On the nose meaning what? I mean, there's nothing more on the nose than what James Gunn just said, right? Like,
it's one thing to say that
it's too controversial.
It's one thing to say that in an interview. It's different to say that line in the movie. Now they may allude to it. They might not. They might say, "Look, these things are important." Like maybe Lois Lane says, "Look, it's important that we have." That there's truth and that there's justice in the world. And that's what we in America should, like, maybe they allude to it, but I don't think there's going to be anyone saying truth, justice, and the American way. That would be too on the nose.
Is it because people are just too cynical now?
Also,
they would kind of
people are
turn their
very
nose
cynical
up
now,
at
yeah.
that?
Over
Yes.
a decade ago, they lost a bid to copyright that phrase, to trademark it.
Who owns it?
I don't think it can be copyrighted.
Okay, so it's just free.
But then it's free to use, though.
It's free to use.
So it's one of the reasons why they do the same thing to change characters, like why they'll change versions of Superman, the way he looks and stuff like that, because it prevents them having to pay the creatives who came up with it. So it says this article is from 2021. Says in the latest Superman comic, Legends revealed that whether DC lost the trademark on the Superman slogan "Truth, Justice, in the American Way." I just don't think they'll use it. I think they think of it as a time past, and I don't think it'll end up getting put into the movie. I would love to hear it, but I don't think they will.
It's just crazy that people can see one clip from a trailer where Superman has like a bruise on his face, and they're like, he's just beat up and he's depressed for the whole film. This sucks.
Well, people that are motivated to dislike it because they dislike Hollywood. If there's people out there that are like over Hollywood in general, they're going to be motivated to dislike this. And that's people that are commenting on it. That people that dislike things will comment far more frequently than people that like.
Here's a little clap back. One person said, "I really wish people would let the American way stuff go. It was never a foundational aspect of Superman's character. It only got added in one of the radio dramas. Always feels deeply out of character, as Superman would always be a humanist first and foremost, serving all the world.
No.
Globalist superhero."
Well, they replaced the slogan "Truth, Justice, in the American Way" with "Truth, Justice, in a Better Tomorrow," which just sounds like weird communist propaganda.
Yeah. that does.
Yeah.
And humanism is totally communist. Like that's the whole, like that's what communists call themselves all the time. So no, Superman would not be a humanist. Superman would embody American values because Superman was raised in Kansas as an American. And if he's anything like other human beings, which he's supposed to be, that's why you can relate to Superman. He's not just an alien. If he's anything like other human beings, then he's going to be a product of the context that he was raised in.
So there's a 20 here from Pop Culture Junkie. Says the trailer has a vibe to it based on the following truth: Gunn didn't start pre-production until he had a script. What a concept! That's how to not have your release date become an ongoing train that destroys your movie. Well, yeah, he stayed on course for his film, and he certainly doesn't go through the post-production hell and issues that Marvel is going through these days with all of their problems. But look,
I think it's, as far as we can tell so far, a good sign that James Gunn is not shying away from the fact that this is an American myth.
Was it James Gunn that said that he would be a humanist, or was that someone else?
No.
That was just a random commenter who doesn't
okay.
like Superman.
That person's an idiot.
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of characters in it. I just think that the score turned this movie into something that was really, really swinging for something deep and emotional and evocative to a person, that they're really going to leave that trailer feeling something. And me personally, I'm happy to see it. And again, the actual movie has a far better chance of actually delivering on that than what you get in a 2-minute teaser trailer. So it just didn't quite hit the mark for me, but there's still plenty of stuff in there to be positive about if you're looking forward to it. The suit didn't bother me the way it bothered a lot of other people. A lot of people were really mad that the suit has creases or wrinkles in it, like it should be form-fitting. That's a big bone of contention with a lot of people. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, let's read some super chats. Shane H. Wilder said, "Happy Thrashing Thursday, Brett, Mary, and Phil. The 5-piece Taco Bell nuggies are here and are only $3.99. I will be having them this weekend. Let's go." I'm having them later today because I can't wait.
I do like the fact that they call Thursday Thrashing Thursday, especially considering I'm here.
Well, of course.
On Thursdays, I
that's
like
why.
that. Thank you, Shane.
Corey Anderson said, "No black. What is this trickery?"
You're not wearing black today.
Oh, I thought that was about Superman.
No.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm wearing gray today. I'm crazy. I just felt crazy today.
You were like reaching for a shirt, and you're like, I'm feeling wild and crazy.
I was feeling wild
today.
and crazy, so I wore gray instead of black. Shane H. Wilder said Taco Bell planned the nuggets to come out on 7/50. Of course, we're actually a brand partner with Taco Bell.
I would love to.
If only, right?
I would love to one day get a sponsorship that I can do with Taco Bell.
We live Moss.
We would.
Greg Duvier said, "Phil, what do you do when a cop is in the left lane?"
Stand down. Because
you merge to the right lane.
You stay in the right lane, in one of the more right lanes. Let the cop go. Don't get on the cop's ass. You're not out there trying to get a ticket.
You stop committing crime.
Yeah, there you go, you know?
There's a 20.
Hopefully before the cop shows up. Cesario JPN said Eek the Cat was a Fox Kids cartoon back in '92 about a purple-haired cat called Eek, whose motto is, "It never hurts to help," which caused trouble. It was notable for his fat GF Annabelle and her guard dog Sharky the Shark Dog.
Those character names are amazing.
Is he referring to the Eat the Cat?
Yes.
Yes.
People think it's saying Eek the Cat.
Oh.
It is not saying that.
I don't think that's what he's saying, homie.
Let's do one more.
Mondo said, "Happy Out of Touch Thursday, Kings and Mary."
Thank you.
Is it Out
Thanks.
of Touch Thursday?
I don't
haven't
know.
heard that one before.
I do like, I prefer Thrashing Thursday.
We'll go that. All right.
All right. Gays in Hollywood are struggling right now.
I don't buy it. Not even a little bit.
They're feeling an impending sense of doom as we await the second iteration of Trump's America. The Wrap released this report recently claiming panic in Hollywood's LGBTQ
Wait a minute.
community.
Hollywood gays are being dramatic? You do not say.
Wait, actual gay theater kids are behaving theatrically.
Oh my goodness.
I'm shocked. Imagine my shock. Some weigh emigration
Must be
ahead
David
of the
Ensign. Why?
second Trump term. obviously we've already talked about this. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi effed off to the UK. They're now living a luxurious life in the English countryside because they wanted to hide from Trump's America and his dangerous Project 2025 agenda. So they're already gone, but they are far from the only celebrities in Hollywood who are considering, at the very least, leaving the country and who are threatening to do so. But in this rap report, they interviewed not only celebrities, but also people who work behind the scenes. Executive director of Women in Film told the Wrap, "It's keeping me up at night, worrying for myself and the wider community, especially the transgender community. There were more guardrails last time. Trump didn't have the House, Senate, and Judiciary.
He did have both in his first
two years.
Yeah, he did.
I'd have to check to make sure.
They're just lying.
Well, I don't know if she's lying or if she's
matter.
just dumb.
They're just
And then
freaking out over nothing.
screenwriter told the Wrap, "I think there will be a much bigger exodus from America this time around."
Please.
This screenwriter actually did leave the country in 2017 after Trump's inauguration.
I have some respect for those that actually went and did it as opposed to those who just talked about it on Twitter. If you got up and actually left because the president of the United States didn't share your values, I can respect that, even if I think it's a little bit silly.
Several unnamed sources also told the Wrap that they have at least considered leaving the U.S., but not everyone has the financial wherewithal to pick up and start over in another country. So you have to be a Hollywood elite to be able to afford following through on these threats. Most of the gay men that the Wrap spoke with seem to be adopting a wait-and-see approach and think the whole thing might be overblown.
Oh, well, that's a pretty rational take there.
Are
Good
you
job,
serious?
men. Once again, proving why women need the women's summits every day.
Founder of the Gay Film Festival told the Wrap, "I don't really think Trump's that homophobic."
Based.
So some people are being more reasonable than others.
Well, I would say that all of our opinions are kind of colored by whatever our algorithm is, but it doesn't feel so insane this time around and so much. Look, we talk about Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez are out there meeting with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Ted Sarandos from Netflix meeting with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. A lot of these people have just kind of maybe been beaten into realizing through finally seeing how many times the media's gotten it wrong that maybe this guy's just a guy and he's not Satan. Maybe you don't like him, maybe you don't like his policies, but he's certainly not Satan.
Anxiety in the LGBTQ community is spiking as Donald Trump's second term nears, with gay couples rushing to get married and others going so far as to leave the country or contemplating a drastic move. The fact that people are rushing to obtain same-sex marriage before Project 2025 ensues is just the most insane part to me.
And they
that was decided by the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Everybody is that meme with the kid with the boot on his head, and then the picture below he's laughing because his arm's in the boot. Every single person that's freaking out about this, that's exactly what it is.
Every time that they talk about this, like Trump's America is coming back, Project 2025, I'm just like I always wish that the world they think we're in were real. I'm always wishing Trump were the guy that they say he is, but unfortunately he's just not. And he has always been, reasonably pro-choice and a Hollywood lib and pro-gay. And I don't like any of those things, despite the fact that I love Trump. I don't like any of those ideological stances he holds.
Meanwhile, I'm like, let me introduce you to the man who helped get him elected. His name is Scott Pressler.
And they're like, oh, but look at the people around him. Well, the people around him are gay. So he's hiring gay people. He had gay weddings at Mar-a-Lago. Again, I am deeply religious and socially conservative. I don't agree with any of that stuff. So I just really wish that this fanfic they were writing about Trump were real.
It's also annoying too, as somebody here who is very much a moderate and hasn't really changed all that much and doesn't even have the strongest of opinions, to hear people who will in hysterics call me hysterical That is the most frustrating thing in the world, because when somebody is in hysterics, calling you the hysterical one, you cannot pull them out of that, no matter how much sense there is to see. Probably twice as bad when you're, an overzealous theater kid. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit.
Well, another reasonable voice was an additional gay Hollywood writer. He believes there is a certain level of hysteria going on in LA's LGBTQ community. Quote, I don't think it's as dire as they're saying it is, but I understand. Another unnamed Hollywood publicist wasn't sure whether the panic was justified. Quote, I genuinely don't have a sense of how real some of these risks are and what might be hyperbole.
I think that's connected to just the internet and the sheer mass amount of information people are inundated with every day, and you don't know what's real and what isn't.
Well, most of the panic is about trans rights, allegedly. So, Laverne Cox recently spoke to Variety with threats of leaving the U.S. after Trump's victory. And Laverne Cox even said that she is hoarding estrogen and being so scared for trans youth since the Trump victory.
There
Hoarding
is no
estrogen.
such thing as trans children. There isn't, like, trans youth is not something that we should be concerned with. We should make sure that kids are taken care of if they are feeling anxiety, but they should not be treated as if they're trans.
Let me look up Laverne Cox's net worth. Let's see. It's got to be in the multi-millions by now. Okay, net worth estimated at around $6 million. Yep. Well, Laverne Cox tells Variety that she and several trans friends are so worried that they are contemplating leaving the U.S. Quote, we're doing research on different cities in Europe and in the Caribbean, adding that she knows of several people trying to relocate to states that are considered safer for trans people. Cox likens the possibility of a very anti-LGBTQ Trump administration to Weimar Germany. There was this thriving community of queer people in Berlin pre the rise of Nazism. They attacked Jewish folks, they attacked immigrants, they attacked queer and trans people. You need help. Like serious psychological intervention.
Hollywood is nothing if
immediately
not histrionic.
And you know what? Even Ellen was acting melodramatic about this when really she just didn't want to be in show business anymore because people found out that she's a bitch behind the scenes. She literally made a joke in her stand-up special about how she got kicked out of show business and basically blacklisted and exiled because she has a terrible reputation for treating her underlings like subhuman, and she's a mean person. So she told her own fans, this is the last time you're going to see me after my Netflix special. I am done. Thanks for still caring. Let me catch you up on what's been going on with me since you last saw me. I got chickens. I got kicked out of show business for being mean. Next time I'll be kicked out for being old, gay, and mean. The triple crown. So you got kicked out of show business for being mean, and now you're kicking yourself out of the country for being gay.
I just think most of them need to get off the interwebs. That's the problem. Too much time on the interwebs.
Even these people who are like in the older generations, like Gen Xers and boomers.
Mean, it doesn't matter because they're watching ABC News, who just paid $15 million to Trump for slandering him too. So it doesn't really matter.
I always assume these histrionics are coming from actual teenagers who can't vote.
No. Hollywood celebrities are teenagers. They just can vote. They're just mentally teenagers a lot of the time. And
I really do. I do think it's just people that are freaking out over nothing because they feel like they need attention. I believe that they believe it. I believe that they believe it. Because
some of them, yes.
For the thing is we have understood.
But that's because they're so self-absorbed, though.
We understood and we have made the connection years ago that you cannot trust any mainstream news site based off of their story alone. You have to check, recheck, and double check everything to try and get a full picture of what is actually happening. And if all you're doing is turning on CNN, MSNBC, you're going to just buy into whatever they're saying. And they never had that inclination to question what it is that they're hearing. At least that's my opinion, is that they still buy in whole hog to everything that the media is saying.
We have a 50 from Just 'Cause I'm Free. I miss bald lumberjack Phil.
There he is.
I mean, I can take the hat
Bald
off for
Phil
you.
is here. We don't have
I
bald
freshly
lumberjack
shaved.
Phil.
I shaved it this morning, so
It's nice and shiny.
yeah.
Yeah, I just think that it's kind of predatory to tell children that they're unsafe and they're going to get like hunted down.
Absolutely. And it's intentional.
It's,
like when
yeah.
people, well, the people that are telling children that telling children, maybe you're gay, maybe you're trans, maybe maybe you think you're a girl or whatever, like that right there alone is predatory. And then to throw on top of it,
Right.
if you're trans or if you're a member of the LGBTQ community, that means you're targeted and you might get murdered and blah blah blah. All of that is insane psychological manipulation.
It's psychological torture, truly. Like,
Yeah.
they are telling these
Yeah.
children, like, yeah, Trump is going to send the military door to door searching for trans youth.
And
Like-
I've said it a bunch of times. The intent is you don't get activists if you have happy, well-adjusted kids.
Correct.
If you have a society full of well-adjusted, happy people that have hope for the future, that have families that love them, they don't turn into activists. They don't turn into crazy people that are willing to firebomb police stations.
The other part that sucks about all of this is, if we're to take them at their word that they believe this, and this isn't just weird narcissistic grandstanding, the worst part is you're only as informed as the next news cycle for them. So 4 years will go by, nothing of what they're afraid of will happen, but they will not be cured of their delusion because they won't have the introspection to look back on how they felt 4 years ago and see where they were wrong.
The contradiction doesn't faze them. It actually just serves as more evidence that you're evil.
Yes.
So, yeah, in 4 years, when none of the shit they're saying is going to happens,
Yeah.
they're not going to change their minds.
No, not at
Actually,
all.
they'll just act like that, like they never said any of it. They'll act like they never said.
That's worse too. Yeah.
They'll act like they never made the threats they made.
Yep. I mean, that's kind of what I was saying about COVID, right? Is like a lot of people who made some heinous decisions and said some awful things to close friends and family during COVID just now are like, what? I didn't do that. Are you crazy?
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Dogs are eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat.
Okay.
Let's read some super chats. New Guy Don't Haze Me said, I guess it's time for Chick-fil-A to try their hand at tacos. What would you try them? Yes. 100%. If Chick-fil-A made chicken tacos, of course I would eat them. High Voltage 75 said Chuck Norris on PCC when?
Oh, gosh, that would be awesome.
It would be great.
It's inevitable.
I would love that.
I'm sure it'll happen at some
I'm
point.
telling you guys all, not just because of the sponsorship. I've said it before. Go watch Walker, Texas Ranger. If you want to look back nostalgically at great Americana, go watch Walker, Texas Ranger.
Corey Anderson said, Phil, while on tour, did you get your bandmates to listen to PCC and IRL? Karl Marx is worse than 9/11, J6, and Hitler combined, and liked to get beeped. I won't say that last word. Did you?
No, the band didn't listen to PCC or IRL.
It's too bad.
They're All That Remains is made of quite a variety of political persuasions. We don't agree on politics. We come together and play metal together because we agree on metal. So
That's a beautiful
I
thing.
don't try to. I don't try to get the guys to see things my way. If they ask me my opinion, I'll tell them. But generally, we don't talk politics because we disagree.
I mean,
choice.
that is a level of maturity that is just shocking in 2024.
You know,
Lost on people at the Thanksgiving dinner table, even. Greg Duvier said, when Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, he had 3 missed calls from Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris can divide by 0.
Yes,
So
he
it's
can.
true, all true.
Weary Traveler said, when the boogeyman goes to sleep at night, he checks his closet for Chuck Norris. Shane H. Wilder said, when Chuck Norris watches Pop Culture Crisis, it doesn't pop, it explodes.
No way. Do 2 more.
Zoe's dad said Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He does earth downs, pushes the earth down. I haven't heard that one before. That was funny. Greg Duvier said Chuck Norris once kicked a horse in the chin. Its descendants are now known as giraffes. Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down.
There you go.
Greg Duvier said Chuck Norris can start a fire by rubbing 2 ice cubes together. There is no theory of evolution, just a list of creatures Chuck Norris allows to live.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, let us move on.
A while back, we talked about the sundress that broke the internet. This was a very controversial sundress that was created by EV Magazine for their female readers. Well, they just did another one. They released something called the Raw Milkmaid dress.
Oh, God.
This is a real thing. That is the actual name of the product. Let's show some pictures and get your first reactions.
There you go.
So if you're listening rather than watching, this is a white midi dress with a high slit, low scoop neckline. The model has 32 G cups. I know that because they listed it on the website. I'm not a creep.
For a point of reference.
Yes, for a point of reference. And it's already pissed off a lot of people.
How mad are they?
They're very, very angry.
Wait a minute. Who's mad and why are they mad?
Well, I think this has turned into a fake conversation about modesty when really it should be a conversation about the amount of effort that people ought to put into the way they present themselves. Obviously, we don't have some like major societal problem of women wearing slutty sundresses. It's more a societal problem of women and men not putting effort into their appearances and the way that they dress. So
yeah, I wear sweatpants to work every day, so maybe I'm the problem.
I don't particularly care for this dress. I didn't consider buying it. I do think it's probably overpriced at $190.
I mean, everything's overpriced, isn't it?
Still, though, I wouldn't opt to buy this myself, but plenty of people like it. But the people who dislike this dress are basically saying that EV Magazine is capitalizing off of the trad wife trend and making it into a fetish.
Well, even me and Mary have like an inside joke on here where EV Magazine will write the most like lewd topic and then just say, for your husband.
Yeah, they have sex columns, and every sex column makes sure to note that this is for married women.
Yes.
So there are a lot of aspects of the magazine that rub people the wrong way. Like it just seems like a conservative psyop to them. But they think the dress is a psyop in order to fetishize the trad wife aesthetic and make it into something untoward and something, you know, gross and pornographic.
The whole the whole internet trad wife thing is all BS anyways. Like if you actually get a trad wife, she's going to look like babushka. Like she's going to be, you know, she's going to be a husky woman that can help you on the farm. Like that's the stuff that trad wives do when they're like really pretty and voluptuous and all attractive and stuff like that. That's just that's postmodern trad wife. It's all BS.
Yes.
It's not real. So I mean, I don't know that the idea isn't something that modern girls should not aspire to, because we've talked about bringing back aspirational. So I think it's okay that they're like, okay, this is an aspirational, you know, look for women if they want to be somewhat modest, or at least, and not that was particularly modest, so maybe that's not really a great word, but if they want to be less like on the progressive side, you know what I mean? Like, because if you're at least going to embrace traditional beauty, maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Because progressives with their shaved heads and piercings and tattooed faces and stuff, that's not attractive. And if you're like, well, I don't want to be like that, but I still want to be attractive, maybe that's something that women are going to go for. But it's definitely not like really what a trad wife would look like. Because a trad wife would look like an Amish guy.
Well, they're selling.
Beard.
I think they are selling a fantasy, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. That is kind of the entire appeal. I looked at the description for this, for the raw milkmaid dress, which, by the way, if you're a man, you probably don't know this, but a milkmaid styled top or dress is a real category. They didn't come up with that themselves.
Oh, I didn't know
that is the style of the dress, to be fair. But they added the raw part.
Well, the raw is because of raw milk.
Because all the right-wing girls that read Evie magazine are probably into the raw milk craze.
Yeah.
But here's the description. Designed in the French countryside and inspired by the hard-working dairymaids of 17th century Europe, the raw milkmaid dress is handmade from luxurious organic cotton and 100% feminine energy. Featuring a flattering corset bodice that cinches the waist beautifully, a scooped neckline and drawstring, delicate boning, dainty buttons, a side zipper, an adjustable lace-up back for a custom fit. The romantic puff sleeves can be styled on or off the shoulders. The fully lined midi skirt has hidden pockets and a flirty slit above the knee. That slit above the knee really angered some people.
Okay.
Including some of the readers of Evie magazine who they were trying to appeal to.
All
Some
of
women,
this is
more of
just-
a religious conservative persuasion, were offended that they were being sold this dress because it's sexualized.
They were being offered
That this was on
dress.
offer.
It's
yes.
not nobody has to buy this. You
This
know?
was always going to happen after Trump won. And it sounds like I'm making a non sequitur, but I'm not. But the religious right and a bunch of other people who are now under this big tent that is modern day right-wing politics or right-wing culture, you know, everyone that isn't just a generic leftist who believes in everything from climate change to all of these other things, doesn't believe in the validity of it as a government, you know, point of purpose. Now everyone's kind of stuck together. And now they're going to start fighting because they won. Now they have to fight with each other because there's nobody else to fight with on the other side because everybody else on the other side is kind of licking their wounds right now.
That makes sense.
This is going on in video games right now with character designs and all of that stuff. And everybody's arguing because that's what people love to do.
It's more of a fight between, you know, the religious right and the broader mainstream right.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
it's not-
why this debate has arisen.
I kind of feel like the problem isn't just that it's the right and the mainstream right or whatever. It's just the not leftist, right? Like the people that are just like, well, I'm not on the left. The leftists are crazy. The leftists are blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm center right.
Liberals who voted for Trump are fighting with conservatives who voted for Trump on Twitter about a dress.
And by conservative, you're almost always talking about religious conservatives. You're not just talking about, you know, people that are fiscally conservative or whatever. So, and look, because the religious conservatives have very deeply held beliefs, and they don't just, and to them it's not just a, you know, it's not just a pose. It's things that they actually live. They're going to take issue with things that are coded as right, but fall outside of the things that they find acceptable to the, to their sensibilities. That's just going to happen. That's always going to happen because they're deeply held beliefs. Like they're religious people. If they're religious people and they're like, look, this doesn't represent what I think of as, you know, the religious way that I want to live, they're going to take issue with it. Now, the question is, do they want to continue to have a broad tent party, or do they want to say, if you don't believe like I believe, you can't be part of the party? You know, and how much influence do they have?
Yeah.
So this is why fashion is political, after all.
Apparently they were right.
The Cut released an article about the controversy saying, being a trad wife is in, and conservative magazine Evie wants to capitalize on that momentum. So it released the raw milkmaid dress, and readers are not happy. One said, so disappointed by the amount of cleavage shown. Way too revealing for a modest woman. Nearly everyone commented on the cleavage, and many compared the looks to those of sex workers. One commenter said, when all standards of modesty go out the window, it's hard not to compare this to the attire worn by prostitutes in the 17th century. Only your models are missing a lace corset and fishnet stockings. Another person commented saying, they learned nothing from Dressgate. Even more cleavage and a high slit, definitely what your audience of modest religious women would want. So the modest religious women that are part of Evie Magazine's target audience are offended by this.
Is it?
Meanwhile, the libs who voted for Trump are into it.
Yeah,
and I'm over here like, I don't know. I kind of just don't want the dress. Doesn't look flattering.
There you go. There you go.
And then, you know,
Mary with the good
aside
take.
from the Puritan debate, you know, aside from anything about it being pornographic or immodest or anything, that's really a cover for what this is really about. And I think there are a lot of women who feel they couldn't get away with wearing something like this.
What do you mean?
So they feel excluded by the very existence of a dress
Meaning
like
like
this.
they wouldn't look good in it, therefore it shouldn't exist?
Yes.
Oh.
There are a lot of women who feel they would not look good in this dress, and they feel threatened by that. One said, the fatty moms who wear sweatpants and greasy hair don't like the dress. They let go in the years of body positivity, and now it's too late to wear a dress like this. Big sad. I kind of agree with that take. I think there are a lot of people who resent the women that would look good in the dress, so they're going to hate on the dress for being immodest. You can... It's just like, shut your mouth.
Never underestimate a woman's ability to be catty.
Yeah. Well, I also saw another deep insight here saying the problem in our society is not one of too many women walking around done up wearing dresses that are too alluring. Yeah, right. Wake up. It's a slob world where men and women seem to make no effort to be attractive to the opposite sex.
I mean,
average clothing in the 1960s was far more alluring than average in 2024.
It was also average in the 1960s.
I like this take.
Things are extremely dour and unattractive today, and sexual energy has been zapped in public society. That I fully agree with, and it has nothing to do with modesty, because obviously wearing skin-toned, skin-tight leggings in public is not modest. It's also zapped of all libido. It has no... It's obviously sexual in nature. You're wearing those leggings, especially the Gymshark leggings that have the seam up the butt, because you're trying to look for sexual attention from what you're wearing. It's immodest, but it's not feminine, you know? It's not putting in a lot of effort. You're just slipping spandex over your body and sucking all of your fat in. It's not putting effort into your appearance. So I think the real battle here is between, you know, not between the Puritans and the, I don't know, what would they be called? Like Nietzschean vitalists.
This is $20 from Just Because I'm Free.
Women are just hating on the dress because it's nice. They just can't fill it out.
Great pun.
I do think that a lot of it is still a battle between the fact that on one side of the aisle now there's just a big group of people that see the world very, very differently. And these, again, this is being echoed in video games right now when it comes to like character design and stuff like that, and what women should be wearing as video game characters, and people that you might have agreed with on the election or maybe take this a little bit differently, and they're going to have a crossroads in what people believe about this. But good on Evie for using it to their advantage to make themselves a bunch of money.
I gotta agree with Mary, or at least agree about the fact that nobody puts any effort in. And my nephews they're 16 and 20, I think, 21 maybe, 16 and 20, and like they wear sweatpants all the time.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm just like, I can't. Like you do you. I'm not gonna tell you how you have to live. But people don't put much effort, especially young people don't put effort into the way they look anymore. Or at least it doesn't seem like they do. Mm-hmm. Definitely not the way that, you know, previous generations have. And it's like jeans are not difficult. It's not like we're wearing, you know, not like people that are consider themselves dressed casually or wearing a suit and tie anymore.
The argument is that the sweatpants of today are not the sweatpants that were worn 20 years ago. They're cut in a way that actually fit your body better, meaning that it tapers to the leg and it doesn't look like a pair of Hanes sweatpants.
Okay, no one's attacking you.
They're wide the whole way.
There's and Crocs, Charlie
Crocs,
Stevenson.
They wear the socks.
I have Crocs
they wear
too.
Like Crocs and like
it just doesn't.
It doesn't look good. It looks sloppy. It looks like you're hanging out in your house, which if you want to look like that, then it's fine. But like You can't sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm put together, and you should take me seriously, and I'm an actual adult, and you should respect the things that I say." When you're wearing Crocs and like gym shorts,
Here's
that's
how it
for
reads
sitting around
to
in the
me.
house.
This is not a battle between immodesty and modesty. This is a battle between athleisure and sexy dresses.
Okay.
Let's divorce this from the conversation about modesty and religious purity and all of those things,
Okay.
which I do care about.
Yes.
To get really real, this is a battle between people who wear leggings as pants and women who wear dresses. And, you know, people who can look good in this dress and people who can't. That's what it's about. That's what it seems to me. It's about jealousy. And that's to say nothing of this product in particular. I actually bought the sundress that they put out last year. Was that earlier this year?
I think it was earlier.
Maybe
this
in the
year.
summer. I did buy it. I didn't like it personally. It had a weird fit. I didn't like the material. But I applaud them for trying.
Yep.
I applaud the effort. I think the marketing is kind of flopping, and they should not be arguing with people
Well, you
on
said
Twitter about it.
You said no. I think the arguing with people on Twitter is perfect for them because their audience is on Twitter.
But it's just it's getting too much into the back and forth with anonymous people on the internet. For a fashion magazine.
You also had a problem with the marketing of the first one. You said that the actual
Yes.
photos were bad.
Yeah, because they chose a model who was not smiling.
Yeah. It didn't look fun or free. It looked
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going for something more sultry than
What it was supposed
what
to
it
be.
was. Yeah.
Well-
They also they made a Got Milkmaid ad as well. Do
Yeah.
you have that? Just to appeal to all of the raw milk stands. It's yeah. I don't really get it.
Those Evie magazine people know what they're doing, I'm sure. They'll make their money.
I don't drink raw milk. I don't even drink milk in general because I'm not a baby. So, okay.
So super chat.
Jared Klein said, having met Haley Welch, she's a nice person overall. She has managed her fame well up until this point. With the animal shelter and podcast, I agree, probably got bad advice from her advisors.
That would be my guess.
You met Haley Welch?
And cool.
How did that happen?
Yeah, I would like to know.
Tacti Platty said, you mean questionable pump and dumps are bad?
Shocking, I know.
Yes. Thank you.
Bad things happen when you do that.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat.
James Coteridis said, Phil, did you and fellas play Wally's at Hampton Beach back in the club and bar days? Any good back in the day? New Hampshire show memories.
We have played Wally's. It was a while ago, but yeah, we played Wally's. We also play nowadays we're likely to play the casino, Hampton Beach Casino. We've played there a couple times, and it's always fun to play in New Hampshire. It's always fun to play at the beach. You know, it's Hampton Beach. It's great.
We have a 20 from Jose Quintana. I was blessed to have had girlfriends that were objectively lovely without showing their wares. Full context. We did all meet in church/religious settings. To me, less is more. Long live PCC. I think you would mean more is more, right? More cloth is more.
Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said Haley graduated at 20. That tracks. That was just a rumor, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that she was a big super senior at her high school. Mr. Moose.
After you mentioned that to me the first time was maybe the first time in over a decade I had heard the term super senior.
We never had any of those at my school, but we did have alumni who would come back and visit to hang out with their favorite teachers.
That's just weird.
I did find that weird.
That's so weird.
Like,
to me.
nobody wants to see you.
As soon as I was done with I got so far away from there so fast. Like, I wanted nothing to do with school once I was done.
Was it like an F my hometown thing?
No. I didn't have a bad experience. I was just like ready to not be there anymore. Like I
agree.
all the people that I hung out with, because of skating, everybody that you hang out with is kind of just whoever else does it. So maybe you have friends in your hometown that do it, but a lot of times, like if you start when you're 12 years old, by the time you're 16, a lot of them have dropped off and don't do it anymore. So if you really care about the sport, you find other people that do it in other areas. So by the time I was graduating high school, nobody I hung out with lived in my town anyways. So why would I be back there hanging out with like teachers? That's freaking weird.
Yeah.
Like I had a teacher add me on Facebook and it was the weirdest thing. Like I was like, no.
Just no. Mr. Moose Knuckles said, as a fellow follically challenged individual, I'm glad this podcast has bald representation. Just teasing you, Phil. Let's go. Also, Brett, watch one episode of Danger 5, Love from Kazakhstan.
Maybe I should let my hair actually grow in some so you can see that it's like, it's not that bald. It's just thin.
Guys, I'm not bald.
Well, I mean, I'm bald now because I shave it, you know. But like, you can see that there's
I'm not that bald.
You can see the discoloring where the hair grows in, you know.
Yeah.
But
I would be weirded out if you got hair transplant surgery. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't recognize you.
I mean, well, that's because you've only seen me with a shaved head.
Yeah.
Like,
or a hat.
exactly.
Skateman 2010 said, "Anti-fragile must be French." JK, Phil. Wait, what?
Anti-fragile. Anti-fragile. It must be Italian. He was. That's a reference. I think that's a reference to A Christmas Story. The leg lamp that the father got. It said fragile on it. And he said fragile. Huh. Must be Italian. And then his wife goes, I think that says fragile.
Do you like A Christmas Story?
I did. Yeah, I do.
It's very
yes.
Gen X.
Yeah, of course.
The Harsh Truth said, it's called a meme coin. A meme is a joke. You invested in a joke. You deserve to lose your money.
No, you invested in the joke. That means you are the joke.
Makes you the joke, yeah. Jared Klein said, I'm excited to see the Mary Morgan money crypto soon. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
What would it be called? What would the name of your coin be? Ghost coin.
Ghost coin? That already exists,
Oh.
doesn't it?
I'm sure
pretty
it does.
sure.
Be cold coin because of her heart.
I am actually cold all the time.
She is
That's
always.
not bad.
I'm
Yeah.
always overheating and she's always cold. Yeah.
I keep it at like 80 degrees
Oh my gosh.
in my apartment, and I'm pretty sure that it's causing me to have fever dreams.
Probably.
Yeah.
This is
Tacti
20.
Platty. Oh, I missed that one. Jose Quintana, I sit corrected on how I worded my chat, Empress. More is more. Then again, I come of age in the 80s. Thankfully, I have never been attracted to hood rats. Long live PCC.
Thank you for that.
Hood rats. Tacti Platty said, pro tip, don't show up armed to someone's house.
This is a very good piece of advice.
Good advice for no reason at all.
Don't show up uninvited to someone's house armed. Like
Yeah.
when my friends call me and they're like, "Yo, you want to come over?" Like they know I'm gonna be armed, but like they know that I'm not there with nefarious intent.
Shane H. Wilder said, for all the newbies, welcome. Since so many have been asking recently, crisis parties are every $100 when the crisis meter fills up.
Yes, you can help set off a crisis party. Every time we get to $100,
Have there been people asking how it works in
Phil
the chat?
and Mary dance, and I just sit here. I'll dance once we get a new crisis meter, maybe a crisis song. Maybe that's one of the things I'll do over the holidays while we're on break.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
No Control said, stop using ableist language like
No.
grain of salt. That is triggering for people with high blood pressure. I will keep that in mind. Thank you for your correction. Corey Anderson said, Mary, do you wear jeans and leggings or just skirts?
I've never once seen Mary wear jeans ever.
You saw me wear jeans
One time.
One time.
It was very disconcerting.
And
it took at least a week for me to recover.
I knew I was going to do that because you were the only person who was going to see me that day.
You don't wear? Do you wear like skirts every day?
Yeah.
I
Or
don't-
a
I-
dress.
I think I've seen.
Or
like,
maybe shorts.
I've seen below your waist like a handful of times because you're always sitting
Yeah.
in that chair.
But like maybe shorts, usually not. I've bought jeans being like, this is gonna be it. Like I'm gonna like these. And then I try it on and I'm just like, no, like this is
It was like
I don't know what I hate so much about them. They just don't work for me.
Phil, when we went bowling the other day, he goes like, "Whoa!" He like looked at my shoes. He's like, "Oh, your shoes." I'm like, "I wear these shoes every day."
Yeah, I'd never.
We
seen
might
it.
as well just be disembodied
and by,
forces.
by the
They
way,
are.
like Phil talking about like nobody, like the sweatpants and everything. Like not only that, I do the show in socks.
You take your shoes off.
Yep.
You hoodlum.
I'm an absolute menace.
I am essentially one step away from a tuxedo and my jeans and a t-shirt with an actual belt and sneakers on.
I would never in my life have I ever worn jeans without a belt though. That's just weird to me. Like
Really?
it looks awful when you wear jeans without a belt.
Tacti Platty said, Phil, I just ordered the 2 weeks Christmas coffee.
Good call. Mr.
Moose Knuckle said, famous artists misuse COVID funds. I'm shocked and appalled, I tell you.
Right.
Absolutely shocked.
James Coteritis, to anyone looking for the best rock/metal Christmas album, Sledden Hill by August Burns Red is legendary. You will not be disappointed. I think I have that on my playlist. Mr. Moose Knuckle said, you guys should try and get the Outdoor Boys on someday. Dude's channel is pretty wholesome and is quickly growing in popularity.
I do like wholesome.
I have not heard of that.
Did you do the thing where you ask Grok to describe you in 2 words?
No.
Everyone is doing like describe me in 2 words. It only ever described me in 3.
What did it choose?
I felt like it was some commentary on my inability to be cogent.
But what were the words?
Pop culture enthusiast.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Isn't
I thought
pop
it was going to
culture-
be 3 separate descriptors.
That was the I got. Maybe it clarified. Maybe it quantified pop and culture as 1 word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeff said they did the Yamcha pose.
From the Superman, from when he hits the ground.
Okay. Vladimir Plantin said, I fan cast Brett to be the next Superman and Mary as the next Supergirl.
I mean, if I got the leg lengthening surgery finally, maybe.
Then the ankle lengthening surgery.
And the ankle lengthening surgery, and then I'd have to
maybe like ab implants.
I'd have to hit the gym and use HGH because you'd have to be shooting the movie very, very quickly.
Just get the silicone implants. Yeah. Easy. Shane H. Wilder said, it feels like a classic comic book movie and we got Crypto. If they threw Supergirl in there, then we could have had Streaky the Super Cat also.
We are going to get Supergirl in the movie.
You hate that?
Streaky the Super Cat?
Millie Alcock is playing Supergirl.
That's a separate thing. That's a separate.
But she's in the IMDb for this movie. So again, like I said, everyone's going to appear for just 1 to 2 scenes, and it's going to be like, look, that works if we're talking Perry White, if we're talking Jimmy Olsen, and characters that are what you think of when you think of a Superman story specifically. Ones that rate their own comic should not.
I hate cameo culture for this reason.
Seriously.
Pat the
Sign
Plumber,
up for our cameo and we'll
Pat the Plumber said, definitely overcrowded, seems a waste on future projects. Hope I'm wrong.
Again, like I thought there were so many ways they could have done it, like in Batman vs Superman. Like I always thought the idea should have been, instead of doing Batman vs Superman right off the bat, where they then dump in, oh, here's Bruce Wayne and he's looking at security footage of the Flash at a gas station, and he sees the picture of Wonder Woman from back in the day, and she hasn't aged at all, and all of that stuff. And in Aquaman, they could have done Bruce Wayne as a post-credit character the way Thanos was in the early Marvel movies. And for each movie, so if you do Man of Steel first, you then have a post-credit scene with Batman making note of all the things that just happened in that movie on like a corkboard, literally like freaking Always Sunny. He's making the corkboard and he's categorizing all the information. Then the next movie, you do a Flash movie and you have him at the end of the film, he's looking through the security footage of all the things that happened in that movie. And then Wonder Woman, and you've got him, blah, blah, blah. You go this all the way through. The key to that is if you don't even want to cast Batman right away, you can just do these as like shots from the back of the head. Again, this is a post-credit scene. It only has to be a minute long of him like doing stuff in the Bat Cave. And then you don't have to reveal who Batman is, perhaps, till you get to a second Superman movie that leads into the actual Batman vs Superman film. Then you reveal your Batman in that post-credit cameo. Now, they would never do that because Ben Affleck would have been like 80 by the time it had come out if they'd actually done it the right way, but they didn't. But they could have. They were smart.
I want to go into the theater, watch the movie, and not have to ever think about it again.
But my point is, like, if you must tie it all together, save it for the post-credit scene, and then tie it in later.
Corey Anderson said, no cap, surprised they didn't make Soup a cripple. Okay. We have a 20. Can you read that one?
Merry Xmas to all. Love the streams. Shameless plug. I'm fundraising.
From Broken Cammy.
From Broken Cammy. Thank you. Sorry about that. What currency is MX?
I don't know.
MX. It says, Merry Xmas to all. Love the streams. Shameless plug. I'm fundraising for a public project online to have a crazy good time with folks worldwide. Would mean a lot if you would also check out GSG/Wire Muse. Love from MX. Thank you. Mexico?
We have Mexican viewers, apparently.
But thank you for that super chat, and Merry Christmas to you as well.
Not That John Stewart said, good morning, friends. My holiday vacation starts today. I'm off till January 3rd. Let's go. Let's go.
I am excited to have some... look, I always say that I'm excited to have some time off, and then I actually start the time off, and I start losing my mind. So I imagine by the time we get back from Michigan, I'll be already losing my mind again.
Yeah.
Sitting around.
Maybe you'll do like a sleep stream.
I'm going to come in and record videos probably just because I'm going to have nothing to do for a period of time.
Fun fact, when I was in the Navy in the early 2000s, Chuck Norris visited my ship when we were overseas in the Middle East to sign autographs. Super friendly, super nice guy. 10 out of 10 would meet again.
Nice.
That's sweet. Bender McSimpson said, Merry Christmas, y'all. The movie Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds and Anna Faris is an underrated Christmas classic.
I've heard that. I've never seen it. I think it's on Hulu right now.
I don't like Ryan Reynolds, though.
I think it's on Hulu right now because I think I just saw it. Like all of the streaming services right now are putting their Christmas collections on the top of the streaming services.
I don't like Ryan Reynolds because he thinks he's Ryan Reynolds. Weary Traveler said people would rather have dark edgelord heroes who represent doom and gloom than someone like Superman who represents light and hope.
I don't think that that's actually necessarily true anymore. I think the problem is that there's been a lot of buildup right now about the reintroduction of hope as a theme in Superman movies, and the trailer very clearly was trying to evoke that. And to some of the audience, it's perhaps that it might just not have quite landed as well as they would have liked to. Doesn't mean the movie will be bad, though. Waiting to see.
John Quixote said Superman looks dope. Merry Christmas. Sup, Phil?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Pop Culture Junkie said, be aware that People for the American Way is a progressive organization founded by Norman Lear. I will be aware of that. That Stanzatastic said, I actually emailed Taco Bell support and told them about the cult of PCC and how y'all live Moss. Hope they reach out. We need to get invited to one of those events they hold where they like unveil the new stuff.
New products.
Matthew Adams said, Phil, when was the last time you hawk Tuah?
Never.
I would hope never.
I listened just by happenstance. I listened.
This is a lot.
I listened to Tim's video like this morning talking about it, and he like gives you this very bland definition of what that means.
Oh, a hawk Tuah. Okay.
It was the best.
Good. I wasn't aware.
In a very PG way. I loved it.
Thank you. Susie Daza said the hate like was prob the guy that commented about ad read. This clown thinks pods are free. LOL. Long live PCC. I didn't know anyone was mad about ad reads. That's their problem, though.
Everyone's mad about something.
It's just for a couple of minutes at the beginning of the show, and it helps keep this show on the air. So thank you guys so much for listening to the ad reads and checking out the products. I love whenever Shoe on Head will do ad reads. She reads it and she goes, and thanks for watching. You did watch, didn't you?
Corey Anderson said, did you see the Dadvocate video about the other woman community and the cheating wife coach? It is crazy. Go listen if you enjoy tea.
I did not watch it. I think I passed by it live while I was on there. I do follow the Dadvocate on Instagram. It's very interesting.
Vladimir Planton said, my next fan casting is for Phil to play Lex Luthor.
Let's go.
I said the same thing.
No.
What? Why not?
But you're bald.
Because I don't want to be...
But you're bald.
Because I don't want to be an actor.
Fair enough. At least you didn't say I don't want to be a bad guy.
No, I don't want to
Shane
be an
H.
actor.
Wilder said, hey, Hollywood, calm down. You're acting like your mother. That's a good one. Corey Anderson said, yes, it is a group for women that want to be the other woman, and the coach teaches how to cheat. A lady found out her spouse was cheating on her with one of the coaches. That's disgusting. I am not doing the cheat coach story justice. I'm sure not. Brewmaster Monk said, what's something I can do in 8 weeks to level up while I heal from shoulder surgery? Also, you guys should travel and interview local artists and scenes and group dinners with fans to build up local community.
That would
Tren.
That would be great. One of the things about this show is like when you're 5 days a week, that kind of makes it hard to do stuff like that. And when you're 5 days a week live, that's even harder. So, maybe
That would
in the
not be
future,
our decision.
It wouldn't be up to us.
Automatic said, Bald Phil is hot, and thank God I'm not David Pakman.
Well, thanks.
Is that a non sequitur? Like, I don't get it.
Yes.
I don't know, but I'll take the compliment.
Yeah.
DeBob said, kids wear Superman pajamas, soups wear Chuck Norris PJs.
Makes sense.
So true. Bender McSimpson said, Death once had a near Chuck Norris experience. Tacty Flatty said, sure, raw milk is why raw is added, ... Yeah, there might have been a double entendre there.
Just a little bit.
That Stanzatastic said, is that dress made with feminine energy actually made by some dude in Bangladesh? Well, I read...
His name could be feminine energy. You don't know.
I read on the description for the product, they have it ethically made, so hopefully not. Just Because I'm Free said Chuck Norris had adult relations once. We call that the Big Bang.
Is that how all that happened?
Shadow Zero said off topic, but check out the Terradynamics XP4. It's a drone that can transform into a plane, and the company that makes it has military contracts. Okay.
Have you been following the drone story?
Well,
You mean the alien story?
It's the only story going now.
You mean the UFO story?
The most interesting thing that's gone on is either the drone thing or the continuing resolution in D.C., which actually seems to have had a resolution. So we'll talk about that tonight. But marginally, I'm not particularly interested in it because I don't think that it's foreign. As in, I don't think that it's aliens, and I don't think that it's another country. I think it's something in the U.S.
Something?
Yeah, and so generally, I think that they're just trying to. First of all, I think there are significantly fewer than have been alleged to be reported, because once word got out that there were drones out there that were. So there was some kind of mystery attached to them. Then every idiot in New Jersey started looking up and seeing things moving and thought like all the planes landing landing in Newark are they're all aliens and stuff. So I think that a lot of it is just people that never looked up started looking up and noticed there's a lot of planes flying over.
Yeah.
Imagine being like an alien and traveling many galaxies away. And you stop in New Jersey?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's
no.
crazy. Chris Noski said Chuck Norris's tears have the power to cure cancer. The only problem is nobody has ever got Chuck to cry.
That's brutal.
Easy E said hot take, paying that much money for that little of fabric in this economy is fiscally irresponsible as well as bad fashion.
Fair enough.
Wasn't my favorite
I do believe
style.
that Phil has to get going.
Yeah, I got to be IRL tonight, and we're flying in the morning, and all of that stuff.
So, if there are more super chats, I will answer for Phil, and I will say that sweatpants are superior to jeans.
I saw someone asked about if I wore not tidy whities. It's the silkies, and on leg day I still wear silkies in the gym.
Yeah.
We have a 20 from Jose Quintana. Very unpopular opinion, but true. Outside of his appearance in Bruce Lee's movie, I found Chuck Norris quite boring. Mary should play Supergirl. Brett should play Doc Ock.
Yep.
Phil should just play. Okay.
Let's go. No, I don't think Chuck Norris is boring. Like, one of the things I love about it is like the acting is just very of its time, and I love that for that time period now. Like Hollywood has gotten so dynamic in the way that they produce things, even on television, that there's something better about the simplistic way in which it's done back then.
Bye, Phil. Fist bump on the way out.
Yep.
Red Snow said, B positive blood sign and praise be to Space King. Omega Red fan said, people envy what they can't have. Wait, what's up?
No, keep going.
Okay. Corey Anderson said, this is a serious question. Is dressing sexy a sin? I would say in some cases, yes, and in some others, no.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with dressing in a way that is supposed to attract the opposite sex. You know?
Yeah.
I guess that's a different moral standard than most people even consider these days, but there's definitely a way to strike a balance. Tacty Platty said, agreed, bad pump and dumps lead to burning pee. Okay. Red Snow said, school was so lame I didn't even go to graduation.
I don't remember. I think I did. I think
You
I went
have to, don't you?
I think no. All you have to do is graduate. Doesn't mean you have to walk.
I had to.
They made you?
I mean,
walk?
it's like if you didn't, they would be really pissed. They probably wouldn't give me my diploma. Angry Shellback said, aren't Coof kids super seniors? Like people who were in high school during COVID?
I don't think so. They would still.
They just did Zoom school.
Yeah.
Which means they're illiterate.
I have a friend who is he teaches English in high school, and he said that that time period was rough.
They just can't read.
Like he was saying his like the school in general was very, very, very difficult to run digitally.
Obviously. Who could have seen that coming? High Voltage 75 said, is chalky milk for babies too? Because I love me some chalky milk. It's definitely childish. Yeah.
No. Drink your chocolate milk. Enjoy what you like. You're fine.
Just let people enjoy things.
If I can wear sweatpants every day,
people enjoy
then
things.
you guys can drink your chalky milk.
Shane H. Wilder said, guys, it's easy. Wear jeans or slacks, a shirt that fits properly without holes, and above all, you must always match brown with brown. I didn't know about that rule. Not That John Stewart said, Mary, these nuggets are awesome. You're going to enjoy.
Wow, that's high praise.
I'm really excited. What about the sauces, though? Like, do you recommend any of the sauces, or you were just like raw dogging the nuggets? I don't know. High Voltage 75 said I may not be present for tomorrow's show, so I'll ask now. Do you have any New Year's resolutions for 2025? Do you?
I never do New Year's resolutions because I'm always trying to kind of make minor changes to my life because I'm neurotic about stuff.
So there's nothing in...
Like
nothing stands out.
I'm extremely pessimistic in the idea that I would do a bunch of stuff that's bad for me and then just wait to start until January 1st already tells you that you're going to fail.
Well, Lent is just kind of a Catholic version of New Year's resolutions. But I think yours should be you have to finish whatever movie or TV show that you turned on. Not finish it, and not as in finish the show through the entire run of the show. But if you turn on an episode of a TV show, you better sit through that episode.
Okay.
Or the movie, whatever it is.
Well, then I would just never start any movies because I'd be too afraid that I'm not going to finish it.
Perfect. Better judgment. Better use of your time, too. For me, I don't know. What do you think I should do?
Oh,
Start working out? You're going to tell me to start working out.
I would encourage you to get some physical activity on a regular basis. Like, it would be good for you mentally, not just your health, but mentally it's good for you. I think that you and once you start doing it, you actually start to enjoy it. You have start looking forward to it.
Come up with something that you could do that you actually would do. I would not commit to doing, like working out every single day or even multiple times a week. I'd probably have to start with once a week. Maybe that'll be it for me. I
mean, you don't have to do that. It's cardio. Go for a walk. Go for a walk every day.
I wouldn't do that every day.
Do it.
I know that I wouldn't do it every day.
Set it for a couple of times a week, twice a week, and then go from there.
Once a week.
Once a week. Here's the thing, though. If you want it to actually stick,
if I like it, then I'll do it more.
Yeah. If you want it to actually stick, you need to do it more than once a week to start because there's so much time between Monday to Monday that then it doesn't matter. But if you do it Monday and then you do it Wednesday, you'll be surprised that you might actually find some benefits. And then perhaps on Thursday, you're like, I already want to do this again. Then maybe you don't do it that day, but maybe you do it on Friday and you just try to keep up with it as best as possible.
Kenny Ramey said, idea for Friday, everyone wears a tuxedo t-shirt. I do not have any of those. I don't
have. I've never bought an ironic T-shirt in my life, even
really?
something like that. No.
You need some. Shane H. Wilder said, "We wish you a metal Christmas and a headbanging New Year. Is a great Christmas compilation. The thrash rendition of Silent Night is not so silent."
Well, we're now getting into some Phil chats when Phil isn't here. So sorry, guys.
What was this other one? Was it from Broken Cammy?
Yes.
P.S. ATR is effing amazing. Phil, you're awesome as a singer and human being. Thanks for everything you've given us so far. We'll let him know you said that. Corey Anderson said, will there be more PCC conspiracy videos again this Christmas like last year? Those were amazeballs.
I completely forgot.
I kind of forgot that we used to do that more often.
We're we got so busy with the move and with
Yeah.
getting everything over here, and then now we're scheduling everything out for the holidays.
There
and-
will be videos posted ahead of time or scheduled ahead of time to post while we're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll do that when we get back from the holidays.
Are we all caught up?
I believe that is everything. Oh, no, did we get that last 20? Yes, we did.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a blast. I want to remind everyone that tomorrow we will have an extended holiday edition, Christmas edition of Pop Culture Crisis, because there's a war on Christmas. You have to say
There's a war
Christmas.
on Christmas.
2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. We will have a variety of guests coming in, just like we did for the Thanksgiving episode. So we hope that you will join us. Mary, where can they find you?
You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived.
Perfect. Guys, you want to follow me, Instagram and Twix, Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. This show is here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would prefer to listen rather than watch this show, you can also rate and review on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. That helps the show a lot, so thank you so much for that. You want to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix, at popculture_show, Facebook and not TikTok, because we were banned on TikTok, at Pop Culture Crisis, and on Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. I will actually be live tonight on Timcast IRL at 8 p.m. So if you want to see that, you can tune in there. We will be back with that special Christmas episode tomorrow at 2 p.m. See you there, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.